From Australia, this is Brett out of Hell the Game Cat, Lilith the Game Kitten, also Dave Station's #1 fan. No idea why she likes him more than me. Sickens me, frankly. This is Viewer Takeover.
This is Viewer Takeover. We film every Monday night and we bring it to YouTube sometime on Tuesday. No, actually, no guarantees it's going to be Tuesday. It could be Wednesday. It could be Thursday. Some have been recorded and never got aired because that's kind of how I roll. My name is Bryan Paul from this channel right here without Parole. And the guy on the far left of your screen is Dave from Dave Station VR.
Hello out there, folks. Hope you're having a great week. Great day.
Dave, what's better, a burrito or a Crunchwrap Supreme?
Ooh, this is a hard question. I like a crunch wrap, but the problem is there's so many layers that just have barely anything in them. And you're just eating a bunch of bread, and you realize, like, between these two folds, there's literally, like, this much sour cream, and there's nothing else.
And there's
So
not
I love
a
the
shell
concept.
tucked in there to where you can choke on it and almost die trying to eat a taco
Did that happen to you?
all the time.
Oh, jeez, all right.
Where do
so I
gorditas
guess
fall into
burrito.
remix? Do gorditas?
Gorditas are okay.
But
Chimichangas
lower-
are the best, but Taco Bell doesn't have chimichangas.
Chimichangas.
So.
I'm with you on chimichangas.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And that guy in the middle, the voice of God himself, AJ from PSVR Underground.
Whoa, whoa. That is way above my pay grade, man. What is up? Man, I got exciting news today. Man, lots of different things. I went to the grocery store for the first time in like 3 months.
Not
Hey,
exciting.
very cool. man.
I feel like a real adult.
Yeah, I did laundry the other day,
I
so
was-
that's good.
I was wondering if it was going to be like a ghost town, because of everything going on, but no, everything was normal. I got a message from a old buddy of mine. Anybody that used to hang out with our Prada community, he bought his PSVR. He bought a PSVR once again, so he's back. So
Do we get a name with this person?
nope,
No.
you don't.
Can
You
I
will
guess?
find out.
Can I guess? Can I guess? Can I guess?
Sure.
Ghost?
Yeah, man.
I guessed it?
Yeah, man. My buddy's back.
I'm so good at
excited.
guessing. All right.
He has been away from VR for 2 years. So welcome back, Ghosty. He was looking forward to Firewall, and then that's when he had life got in the way and had to deal with some stuff. So happy to see an old friend back, man. Good stuff.
Excellent. What we like to do here on Viewer Takeover is thank a whole lot of people in the first person. Of course, that we want to thank Brad out of Hell, the Game Cat, and Lilith, the Game Kitten. That's a meow and a meow. Meow, meow.
Right out of hell.
Dave, I want to hear your thoughts on Brad's Viewer Takeover introduction.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad to have finally met my youngest fan, even though, not face to face. But I hope she hears this and hope she's feeling good and, enjoys the sound of my voice just as much as everybody else.
She's a double.
Man.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I couldn't help but notice her name was Lilith, and that was actually one of my best friends asked me to help him name his child, one of his daughters, who I also found out is actually having a boy now today. And congratulations, Bo. But I helped him name his other daughter Lilith. So great minds, Brad. Great minds.
Pretty cool. It's like pretty metal of you. A little satanic.
Very metal.
Yeah.
Very death metal.
I like
Black
it.
metal. I won't cuss because Lilith may be listening.
That's very possible. But let's say Brad out of Hell and Lilith killed it with that introduction, doing exactly what we asked to do. Just point the camera at yourself, point the cell phone at yourself,
Nailed it.
landscape style, and say, my name is Bryan Paul. I'm a game cat. This is Viewer Takeover. We just want to see the faces of all the game cats out there. Send it to withoutparole@gmail.com. Remember, it's a Gmail account. So keep it short, keep it simple, keep it sexy. It doesn't fit in the
Wow.
inbox. Consider yourself lucky. All right. But obviously, Brad out of Hell and Lilith are not the only people we want to thank. We also want to thank these people. These people down here. These people who went to patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
And they're the ones giving us $1 or more every single month. They're the ones keeping the channel running, afloat, words and stuff. Money. Really, we don't ask a lot of you guys. If you want to support the channel financially, then we only ask you give us $1 or more every month. And man, if we get a few thousand of you guys doing that, then hopefully it's a small contribution from a lot of different people. Or just click that link in the description and buy my games on eBay. Either way, It's all good.
Hell yeah.
Hell
You
yeah.
gotta get me those games, Brian. We'd say this every time.
We
but
do. But
I need to
I'm
get
lazy.
those games from you.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Well, Brian, I got to say, there's some other people I want to thank that we want to thank
Indeed.
because
Who are
those
they?
aren't the only people we love and we want to thank. We want to thank those that changed their name to something GameCat or something GameCat adjacent, as you like to say.
I like to say a lot of things.
And we have 3 new GameCats to welcome to the GameCat Dojo today, because it's daytime, not nighttime.
That's pretty
First
dark
up.
over here.
Depends where in the world you are. Where in the
These are
world-
good ones too.
Where in the world are you, Carmen San Diego? Okay, move on. Just pretend that I didn't say that.
First up, Calico Row, the GameCat.
Calico Row. Man, I'm on a hunt for a cat. Like I'm like officially. I even filled
Maybe
out.
that's a sign.
I even filled out a application today for adoption. I found one that I liked, trying to do it, and so I see Calico, and I'm like, oh man, I'm like, did I make the right choice? Like, oh, will I get this cat? I don't know. I'm so excited. Okay, but Calico Row, awesome name. I love it.
Calicos are beautiful cats. And then when I see Row, I think Row, like Skyrim or something.
No, that's
next up,
totally.
we have Escanor 9, Sin of GameCat.
Sin of GameCat. What is the ultimate sin of the GameCat?
I don't know, but it sounds like a video game I want to play.
I think click turning maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Blinders. Definitely Blinders. Number 1. And finally,
But
we
do
have...
we know what Escanor means? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
Escanor 9.
Okay.
Does that mean anything?
I know. I just typed it in to see what would happen, and I got nothing.
Not even like a common name.
My monitor lit on fire, but that's it.
Well, so I think this might be it. It says it's from an anime. It says it's the lion's sin of pride of the 7 deadly sins. 7 deadly sins, I think, is an anime.
From Netflix.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like a Netflix original. It's actually really good. Damn.
And that makes sense that he would be Escanor, sin of GameCat, because that guy is the lion's sin of pride of the 7 deadly sins. That makes sense.
Nice. We're learning things today. I love it.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
is that
Finally-
good? I need to watch that show because I've seen it pop up before.
I've only seen the first few episodes, but what I've seen so far is really good.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I got into some anime.
Same. And then the last one, AJ, is
Finally, we have the almighty Smeg, the GameCat.
Almighty Smeg.
it's I gotta say, I mean, I'm all about when people have different names all over the place, right? Their Patreon name is one thing, their YouTube name is another thing, their Discord name is another thing, on Twitter there's someone else, and it's like it's overwhelming.
Who does that? Like who would have multiple names like that?
Everybody. I'm actually you're the worst offender that we have, actually, AJ. You're the but it's nice that I see names like Almighty Smeg, and then I go to Discord and I see Almighty Smeg, and I'm like, oh, I know who you are, because your names are actually the same everywhere. So thank you for making my life slightly easier, Almighty Smeg. Wow. Remember, GameCats are the loyal following without parole, so if you change your name to GameCat, put hashtag GameCat somewhere in the comments on any of the videos, so that when we search for it next week, we can give you a shout out on next week's Viewer Takeover. AJ, what's the point of this show, though, really?
The point is, Brian, that we want to hear from the people, and we want to answer their questions that they can submit in several different ways. Dave, how can they submit questions to us?
Oh, goodness. I'm so glad you asked. What they can do is that they can leave a comment on a YouTube video with the hashtag viewer takeover, or there is a whole channel on our Discord, which we haven't sufficiently plugged yet, but we will at some point, where you can go in and leave your questions there as well. And also, one time somebody put one on Twitter for some reason, and we took that question anyways.
And
So,
answered it like a year later.
if we can find it anywhere on the internet, we'll use it. But YouTube comments and Discord are the way to do it.
Yeah, click that Discord link in the description, man. Join us up over there, because that's where we hang out all the time. And yeah, the Viewer Takeover section is pretty much where I find most of them. That's where people are leaving all the questions these days anyway. All right, the first question, though, comes to us from, not Discord, from Mustard Custard on last week's Viewer Takeover. He writes, hashtag Viewer Takeover, like a champ. Says, which, in your opinion, is the best first-person puzzle adventure? Then he lists a few: Abduction, Torn, Zing, etc. on PlayStation VR.
Well, so can we just do this one by all answering on the count of 3?
Well, I mean, are we picking from those 3?
Well, I mean, I think I already know what my choice is, and I think I know what AJ's choice is. But
well, one of those 3 is actually really good.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we could just go on a count of 3.
So we go 1, 2,
One.
3, then go?
I
and then
think
we
there's a
just
delay
say the
between
name.
us, so
Okay.
we'll see.
We'll
We're
be
about
fine.
to test the delay between the
We'll be
Discord.
The space between.
1, 2, 3.
Zing and beyond. All right,
Everyone's going to say Zing. Yes,
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be it. So that's a really quick and easy answer, although we can talk more about why that's the case. But
Yeah.
I mean, the environments are beautiful. It's amazing that this came from like such a small dev team.
3 people.
And yeah. And like, even though it took a while to get to PSVR, it was
6 years.
totally worth the wait. The music's awesome. It's got sort of like a subtle plot that kind of keeps you in mystery the whole time. I don't know. It's just very, very well done. So I think for me, definitely Zing, obviously for all 3 of us. But AJ, I'm sure you got more to say about that.
If you have a Pro, this game is gorgeous.
Yeah,
it is
that's true.
absolutely stunning to look at. The music reminds me of like Donkey Kong Country all the time. I say that all the time. The puzzles are mind melting. Like everyone knows that like I really hate puzzles, and this game really opened my mind to them and like realized that they can be really fun and really satisfying if you solve them and if you attempt them. But yeah, absolutely brilliant game. Also would give a shout out to Transpose and maybe even a game that came out today, Bryan, but can't say anything yet. So for now, I'm just going to stick with Zing. How about you, Bryan?
Yeah, I think Zing is an obvious answer, and I think Zing is a game that's gonna kind of like resonate with a lot more people. Because Separation came out today, and actually came out yesterday in some other places, coming out tomorrow in other places, so like whatever, scattered release schedule. But we said, Sirens on my end, of course, we said enough about Separation on Gamescast Live last week, where people obviously know that we're very much excited to play it, or very much excited for people to play it, and that it's obviously a pretty good game. But Zing is really, like, you can tell that it was 6 years of hard work. It has that AAA polish to it somehow,
Right.
And it just feels really good, sounds really good. Everything about it's amazing. Like AJ said, the puzzles are mind melting. I had to follow AJ's walkthrough to beat it because we get to that clock puzzle and I just go, I don't even understand life anymore. It was really difficult, but it was good. You get your money's worth. $20, man, $20, and you're gonna be playing that thing for like a week.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, highly recommend.
So I would love to take this next question. This comes from Elbert via the Discord. And this question was actually asked, I think, a week or 2 ago, and I was really looking forward to answering it. And I do apologize, Elbert, but we have some very special answers for you now. So I wanted to make sure that we addressed this one because I missed it last Gamescast or Viewer Takeover and felt bad about it. But he asked via the Discord, it says #Viewer Takeover. I have a friend who broke his hand in a car accident, and I'm going to gift him a PSVR. First of all, you are a wonderful person for doing that for your friend, and hope your friend feels better. Says,
Very nice of you. That is very cool.
what are some good one-handed games that he can play? I'm gifting him Cool Paint VR because it seems the most logical. And I would say that is logical. And before I let these two answer first, we are each going to just give you one game, but I'm going to leave a comment down below with all 13 games because I went through the entire catalog.
Came up with 13 games.
Yes, I went through the entire PlayStation catalog just for you, man. Was very thorough. And so make sure you check down below for the rest of them.
That comment down below
all right.
will prove once and for all that AJ is the only person that prepares for the show.
Yeah. Although
But
we
you
got
guys-
this email like 5 minutes before the show, so I
Yeah.
don't even know how you came up with 13. That's crazy.
You guys go ahead, take it away. One-handed games.
Before we even give our answers, I do want to say that as good as Cool Painter is, Sculptor VR is the better answer. Sculptor is a better overall creation program. It's got better tools. It definitely has some more diversity going on there.
It looks better.
It does. Cool Painter's great. Don't get me wrong, but it was a victim of
Sorry.
bad timing because Sculptor VR just kind of blows it out of the water in almost every regard.
Yeah.
Dave, you want to take it away with your one-handed suggestion?
Yeah, I mean, my first one I think is fairly obvious. It's pretty recent. Golem. I don't like the one-handed option as much as the other options,
Same.
but that was the default control scheme to just use one move controller and lean your head forward. And I can't imagine. I mean, maybe if he hurt his neck in the car accident too, that would be bad because
Hope
you're
not.
leaning over with your neck a bunch. But if it's just his hand, that should be good because it's all one-handed otherwise, if you want to play it that way. And I imagine even if it's kind of broken, maybe you could still use the nav controller. Like just move your thumb around, instead of waving shit all over the place. So yeah, I think Golem is a great choice for somebody who's got one hand to use.
I'm gonna hope that his neck doesn't hurt, because obviously VR is a horrible thing to use if you get neck problems, because it asks you to look around quite a bit, and like it's in that medium itself lends to wanting to look around quite a bit rather than just pushing on an analog stick. I'll go next. I'm gonna say that Table of Tales I thought was really a great game.
It's a really good one.
Tabletop RPG, RPG-ish, D&D-ish style game. You can use 2 move controllers, but really you're only doing one thing at a time. So, and it's great because, for anybody with mobility problems or whatever, even if like your other hand's working fine, but you do have back problems or neck problems or whatever, this is a game that does not require you to like lean in or look around or anything. You're looking at a table the entire time, and even the cursor or whatever you want to call it on the move controller can be extended just by hitting a button, and it like shoots way out, so you don't actually have to reach very far. So as far as accessibility goes, Table of Tales is one of the best. It's also a whole lot of fun with a bunch of replayability. Once you beat it, you immediately realize, oh my god, I totally missed a whole section of the game. Got to go back and play that thing again and make different decisions. Highly recommended, one-handed or 2.
Absolutely.
All right, so like I said, gonna leave the rest down below, but my pick for now. By the way, these are like 13 to 15 like really good games. These aren't just because they're one-handed. These are the ones that these 2 guys named are really good. So,
you should just post it on your Twitter. Everyone follows you there.
Yes, maybe I will.
It's the main source of information about PSVR.
It is. It is the front of the head of the PSVR internet. But anyways, I'm gonna have to go with Rush VR, because if I was immobilized a little bit, if like there's nothing more I would want to do than to fly. And I did have Eagle Flight listed on here as well, but some of the levels on Eagle Flight do require like an extra button. So you could really go with either one, Rush or Eagle Flight, but I'm just going to go with Rush for now, because there's just lots of stuff you can do. There's the new update that added the Molten Tropics, and it's a blast, and there's tons of length to this game.
Is there a lot of girth?
There is lots of girth and length. Very solid. And yeah, it's just a fantastic game, man.
I think we just heard AJ giggle.
Just throw him a dick joke and he crumbles.
Yeah, for real. But no, definitely gonna have to say Rush. But yeah, there's tons of other great suggestions, and I will list even why. And just thank you for asking this question, because it's a really good one.
And
yeah, Rush is a great answer. Honestly, I didn't even think of that. But
his head you can control with your head only. You can even use one hand with a move to play with the Nerf guns and stuff, and or just stick with the racing and stuff too.
And then the final question of the day.
Ooh, all right.
Ooh, spooky.
Okay, so we're going with Escanor9, Sin of GameCat, who submitted his question via the Discord. And he says, #viewer takeover. With the remakes of some classics coming, Final Fantasy VII, Resident Evil 3, do you think we will ever see some classic PS1 or 2 remakes in VR? And if so, what would you love to see first? I'd love Tenchu. Oh, that's a good answer. Okay. And do you think we will see a larger quantity of flat-screen games on PS5 having the VR option like Resident Evil 7? And do you think that would be the best way to convert more to VR gaming? Bryan, AJ, and Dave, love you guys. I feel like there are like 5 questions in there, but let's get to the main one first, which is, do you think we'll see those remakes, and what would you like to see?
Okay.
Well, obvious answer is yes, because we've already seen these remakes, because we have Wipeout Omega Collection, which is a PlayStation classic. And that has full VR support. And then we've also got Gran Turismo Sport, which, as everybody knows, is like one of the highest selling. It might actually be the highest selling PlayStation game of all time, IP or something like that. But with the rumors of Gran Turismo 7 looming, with a possible PS5 announcement, that is definitely a game I would love to see with full support. However, that is not my answer, guys. But first, I want to hear your answers.
You just like fucking me over with all these
Wait,
trailers.
so you took the answer first, and you said no. I'm not going to tell you what my answer is. You guys go. Okay,
No,
that's
I
fine.
said, I
That's
named
fine.
games that are already. I said this would happen because there already are some classics, PS1/2 classics that have been remade in VR.
Sort of. I mean, those are like new games. Like
Yeah.
Gran Turismo Sport is not a remake of a Gran Turismo game. It's brand new.
Right, and even Wipeout Omega is like just PS3 and Vita games. But it doesn't matter. These are games that are like legacy PlayStation titles, right?
Yeah.
Like, that have been around since PS1 and that were like highly respected. And so to answer the question, I'd like to go the complete opposite route and talk about games that no one's even fucking heard of before that need a VR port ASAP.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with Ghost Hunter on PlayStation 2.
I need to look this up. What is Ghost Hunter?
Ghost Hunter.
So this is
What the
not the
hell?
same as Fatal Frame? Because I know Fatal Frame needs...
Fatal Frame should have topped my list, but I wanted to go even more obscure. Ghost Hunter is basically like a Ghostbusters style game. That's
Oh,
just
you've talked about this before.
oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
it's a little weird. It's a little quirky, but it's also it sometimes takes itself seriously, but sometimes doesn't. The graphical style, sometimes it has like kind of plain boring graphics, and then other times you're just like, this is breathtaking. How did they pull this off on a PS2? Ghost Hunter is just an amazing game. It probably hasn't aged well, which is why it'd be great in VR. I want like a proton pack. I want like an actual Ghostbusters shit. I want to run around, have a full length adventure, Ghostbusters style. And they already own the IP, man. It's like a Sony IP. So it would be awesome for them to bring that back. Did you
I
look
love
it up,
that
Dave?
I looked it up. The main character's name is Lazarus Jones.
Love it.
A rookie detective with the Detroit Police Department.
It says
This is
PS2 written
insane.
all over it.
Yeah,
It's like a porn. It's like a porn star name, man. It's awesome.
absolutely.
Lazarus Jones. I don't watch a lot of
Yeah,
porn.
I did answer this question backwards because he's specifically talking about remakes, so that kind of threw me off a little bit because the second part of the question is not remakes; it mentions Resident Evil 7.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. I should have edited this question so we were only answering the first part of it.
I will say though that there was a recent rumor, a tweet
Should
from
we stop and ask what Dave's laughing hysterically
Yes.
about? Otherwise, everyone's going
Yeah.
to be lost.
Well, so I'm still
yes.
on the Ghost Hunter page on Wikipedia,
Good.
and it says the origin of the game was Cambridge Studios' desire to do a very high concept,
Cambridge.
dark adult James Bond / Ghostbusters type game.
Right?
Wait, James Bond / Ghostbusters type game?
And
Dark
it
adult,
kind of
too.
is.
How do you bridge the gap? Is he a spy? Like,
It's
What-
so convoluted. Like they should have kept it simple, but instead they just threw everything at the wall and like half of it stuck.
my
It was
God.
really interesting. Yeah,
I really need to take a look at this.
yeah,
That's hilarious.
yeah. Oh man, now I wish I talked about extermination. Okay, forget it. Sorry, who's up next? Oh, AJ was talking before I
So-
interrupted him.
Yeah, sorry, I was laughing.
No worries. With the recent tweet from Kojima Productions, and I don't know if anybody saw this, but there was a guy, Aki Sato, and one of the guys that actually designed Pyramid Head. There was this tweet that came up that it looked, as everybody talking right now, it's very suspicious. And some even think that it might be announced today what
Today.
Kojima Productions is working on.
Ooh.
But essentially, they said, "We're sorry to be silent," and then they go on to say that we can't wait to show you what we have been, and it's just like ... and it goes silent again. And then the dude has a pencil in his hand, and it says pyramid on it. And in connection with that, what's his name? Iku, like Hasehiro Iku, something like that. I totally slaughtered that. I'm sorry. He's the creator of Pyramid Head. He tweeted 3 years ago that he would only bring back Pyramid Head if he died. And that after the Kojima Productions tweet, he then tweeted "Rip Pyramid Head." So everybody's freaking out. They don't know what's going on. They think that maybe March 3rd, which is today, they're going to announce something. We'll have to wait and see. But Silent Hill is a game that I would like to see remade or even just revived and have VR support with it, full VR support. And yeah, I'm crossing my fingers, hoping that happens. I would really just take any game from Kojima, any horror game from Kojima that has VR support. But I do think that would convert more to VR gaming, having the VR support with flat screen games if done right, like No Man's Sky, Resident Evil 7, Wipeout, and so on.
Yeah, I mean, we've said this 1,000 times. Like, if you just looked at your library and you realize that half the games you already bought for a flat screen, PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4, whatever, if you looked in, like, half of them had the little headset logo on it, you're like, oh, if I buy a $200 or $300 PlayStation VR headset, I can play all these games that I already own in VR. Of course, so many people would jump on that wagon, not worrying about. But then again, it's like we get into the controller discussion and all that stuff. But this is the first half of the battle to conquer. Dave, what are you saying?
Well, so it's in the question itself, but Tenchu would be so much fun.
Yes.
I love Tenchu. I don't know if you could make it first person, but I feel like the first person stealth version of Tenchu would be really fun to play in VR, especially. And a lot of the stuff, like scaling the rooftops and hopping from place to place would be really fun.
Imagine having the locomotion of Sirento. Exactly.
Throwing some Sirento.
Imagine
that would be incredible.
A stealth game with Sirento's like locomotion and stuff. Oh,
the only problem is like I don't have much faith that Tenchu is coming back from the dead at any point. Like no. I think it's a dead franchise. I don't think we're going to see anything else from that. So that's like a dream, but it's probably never going to happen. So
somebody might make something similar
in dreams.
Yeah. Hey, I'd love it.
Yeah, there you go. Make it in dreams.
Nice. All right, you guys, we got to wrap it up because I got a lot of work to get done tonight, and editing this is going to take a little bit of time anyway. We got all sorts of new Patreon supporters that I got to get on that list down there. Hopefully it is already done going by, but we shall see. So guys, of course, there's a few things we want you to do. We want you to change your name to GameCat. Put hashtag GameCat in the comments once you do so we can give you a shout out in next week's show. Also, that was the last Viewer Takeover introduction we had in the queue, so make sure you send us a Viewer Takeover introduction without parole at gmail.com. Make it short, make it sweet, make it simple. Real simple. Just want to see your face. Your lovely, lovely face. Also, hey, you know what? Buy some my stuff on eBay. Dave will talk after the show. And click that link in the description. Also, join our Discord. Leave your Viewer Takeover question in the Discord on the Viewer Takeover channel, or just leave your Viewer Takeover question in the comments below with the hashtag Viewer Takeover, all one word. I know I'm missing something here. Patreon.com/withoutparole games for $1 or more every single month. Support the channel. Buy a t-shirt, buy a coffee mug. There's like stuff to buy. There's like, you can even click the link underneath here. There's Without Parole shit everywhere, man. There's so many ways to support the channel. Or you can just watch the videos, because that's all we ask of you. Just hang out, be part of our family. That's it. Anything else, guys?
Love you all. Go play Separation.
Yeah, go play Separation.
Oh, yeah.